Ah, Christmas, the time of tradition, togetherness and goodwill to all men. A time of feasting, gift-giving and thankfulness for all the good things we've... Oh, fuck no! Out of all the different genres to be shat out by Hollywood over the years, there are a few that are more lazy, formulaic and emotionally manipulative than the Christmas movie. Sure, there's some absolute classics out there that have stood the test of time, but there's also an endless ocean of generic shite that makes your average Marvel show look like a groundbreaking experimental art house project. But I believe a new champion has arisen to claim the throne that sits atop Bullshit Mountain, and that show is Santa Inc. One of the most wretchedly terrible, unapologetically awful products of human endeavour since fucking Cats. An 8-part TV show starring two preachy, self-righteous activists and theoretical comedians that have been so chronically unfunny for so fucking long that I genuinely struggle to remember how or why they even became famous in the first place. A storyline that tries to shoehorn every possible permutation of the message and mix it all together with crass jokes about the Holocaust and the unspecified virus of unknown origin.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
That's great!
Fucking hell, this show's pretty much the perfect distillation of everything wrong with modern Hollywood. The premise of what could laughably be considered the story is that Sarah Silverman plays one of Santa's loyal elves, toiling away thanklessly all year long at the North Pole, while he gets to swan in at the 11th hour and take all the glory for himself. And if the subtle allegory of a rich, lazy old white man taking credit for the hard work of his downtrodden subordinates is somehow lost on you, then fear not, because the trailer takes the time to literally spell it out for you in a way that even your average TikToker could understand.
But the position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
That's because the modern figure of Santa Claus is derived from the Dutch legend of Sinterklaas, which in turn was inspired by Saint Nicholas, an early Christian saint from the 3rd century who traditionally gave gifts to people, particularly children. That's why he's usually depicted as an elderly white man with a beard. Anyway, because Santa's planning to step down in the near future, Sarah Silverman decides she wants to take over his job and become the next Santa Claus. Because it's her time now, or something. Cue lots of excruciating attempts to marry crude toilet humour with tired and clumsy observations about sexism and discrimination in the workplace, as she tries and fails to blend in with the male-dominated corporate culture of Santa Inc. Look, it's funny because they're playing golf and pissing in the snow. Jesus, there's even a joke about one of them having a small dick, which as far as humorous put-downs go, is about as lazy and simplistic as your average Adam Sandler movie. The ironic thing though is that I'd rather rewatch Adam Sandler's entire filmography than slog through this grim, unfunny, mean-spirited piece of trash. Who in their right mind greenlights a production like this? Who looked at this script and thought, yup, we've got a real winner here? Who was this show even made for? Why does Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman keep getting hired when neither of them can act, they haven't starred in a hit movie for years, and they're about as funny as a terminal diagnosis? Jesus, all they needed was James Corden in there to complete the unholy trinity of anti-comedy. YouTube's recent decision to hide the dislike button on videos, and HBO's decision to disable comments on this particular one, means that there's no way of knowing just how unpopular the trailer for this show is, unless you happen to have the right extension on your browser, in which case you can peel back the curtain and take a look. You know, sometimes, just sometimes, my faith in mankind is renewed. Honestly though, this show looks like the entertainment equivalent of giving yourself a frontal lobotomy with a fucking power drill, which I suspect is what you need if you're gonna actually enjoy it. It's like every single bad SNL skit for the past 5 years congealed together into one horrifying monstrosity where laughter goes to die. In a world where you've got about 1 million different shows and movies to choose from, I honestly can't think of a single viable reason why you'd voluntarily watch shite like this. And this is coming from a guy who drinks fucking turpentine. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.